Here's a cool story, Will. This one really caught my attention. It merges some of the worlds that we like to talk about.
Oh.
Bollywood rapper sets viewer record YouTube isn't talking about. So this dude, I'm going to say his name probably wrong, Badshah. Maybe I said it right. Badshah. This is the story I'm looking at on Bloomberg. He came out and just bought a boatload of ads.
Yeah.
Pre-roll ads, and he crushed the YouTube 24-hour viewership number for views. Within 24 hours of posting his video Pagal to YouTube, Indian rapper Badshah broke a record even Taylor Swift couldn't touch. The clip, a dance hall romp. That's how Bloomberg is describing his song. They're saying his song is a dance hall romp, which would fit right in on your playlist.
Frisky.
Yeah, exactly. It was seen 75 million times in one day, eclipsing a mark set by Korean boy band BTS in April. But the funny thing is, YouTube didn't say a word about it. Now, normally in the past, they would celebrate a record like this being busted, but they were quiet. Well, they were shh, because it didn't come from a typical source. It wasn't from like a preordained band or name. It wasn't a Taylor Swift type of thing.
It wasn't westernized.
It wasn't Western. But then again, BTS isn't. Well, I guess it is.
BTS is really westernized.
Well, I guess it is now, but it's not a Western source.
No.
But with Blackpink is on there, they're number 4. Anyhow,
Shout out Blackpink.
Anyhow, this guy says that he's being discriminated against.
Yeah.
He says India's on a come up and the rules should apply to me because he says, or at least people close to the matter, seem to indicate that everybody's doing this activity of purchasing views, particularly through YouTube service. So what a precarious situation in which the content you're watching on YouTube and the view count associated with it is boosted by that individual purchasing advertising views to make it look to you that their content is more popular than it is in order to get stories like this to then promote some actual real views and awareness. The whole time, Google banking on both ends. Google banking on the end of, well, you're watching it as a user because you've now found out about it. So therefore, we're going to earn some ad revenue. And then getting the actual producer to pay to create the ad revenue. Getting money on both sides, Will. I don't know what 75 million views cost, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money this dude invested to get to the top of that list, probably in hopes that he would end up getting shouted out by YouTube and creating a stir about having passed all these big name artists that previously held these types of records. He probably couldn't reach into his pocket to hit some billion view count like some of those big artists might. But he was like, you know what I can do is I can get the daily record. I can go for 75 million starting in India and going from there. So it creates a really weird scenario for everyone involved, for the creator who feels they need to elevate their view count to make it seem legit. In fact, in this Bloomberg article, they're saying how many actual record agreements now have built into them how many views am I going to get paid for? Have in it, how many views are you going to guarantee me if I sign with you? Isn't like, because the view count is the great legitimizer in the music business. It's like, oh, you're going to go on tour? Oh, you're going to charge for tickets? Like, how popular are you?
Let's look at the view count.
Yeah, you're going to have some appearance fee. It's like the view count is the great legitimizer. So they're having to compete in this department. You can't, this dude, well, I mean, maybe he can come out with like 1 million views and no one cares. But if you're like Taylor Swift, you can't come out with a couple million views at this point, Will. The bar has been set. You gotta keep hitting these astronomical figures, and they keep growing. It's an arms race for views, and Google's getting rich from it. Mm-hmm. How crazy is that?
The whole thing's rigged.
The whole thing. And they're basically not even trying to hide it at this point. Now, it seems Google doesn't really care that much about that. They're like, yeah, go on. Go ahead, do what you're doing, buy the ads that way. But on the other hand, there are some executives close to the matter here in this article that are saying, well, what about bots? What about click farms, right? If you're okay with this, how about this? Because there's speculation that some of that might be going on as well, all merged together in this great hybrid view count. Now, Google, we know they target those click farms, those bots. That's not cool to them. They don't want those views. They don't want their figure getting all screwed up from that standpoint. But it's hard to know. It's got to be increasingly hard to know. And it's definitely hard to know as a viewer watching it what's what. Mm-hmm. And so, and you got to imagine if you're Google, the tactics that the bots and the click farms are going to use to make things seem like real views, they're going to have to keep getting more sophisticated too if views continue to be this important and view counts. So anyhow, when you're looking at these view counts, just know wait a second. His thumbnail says 100 million plus views on it.
Yeah, I think it's at 100 million.
But he went and changed the thumbnail to reflect the fact that the song had passed 100 million. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That proves the point right there. Is that the view count is the content. The view count overwhelms whatever it is you're about to watch. You're like, oh, it's a 100 million view song. I guess I like it. I guess it's important. I guess I should care. Now, I'm not trying to single this guy out, to be honest. I thought that him passing the record was interesting, but I'm not trying to single him out because I don't feel like he's doing anything different, at least based on what I've read here. So I think everybody, it's just better if we're all aware of the tactics being employed, and you just kind of, you look at these view counts for what they are, and your assumption is that this is how they operate, instead of thinking there's anything authentic or organic, that there's anything organic happening there. So anyway, it's still a bunch of views. And if the person saw them via an ad, how is that different than MTV back in the day advertising the premiere of some upcoming music video to get your eyeballs on it? It's really not all that different. It's just the tactics and the awareness. Maybe, Will, what we're going to have in the future, and this probably wouldn't be great for YouTube's business, but maybe what we're going to have is an authentic, organic view count, and then also represented right beside it, a paid view count. And you're going to have to see both of them in conjunction so that you know as a viewer what's what. So they can still have the big overall view count, but you can break it out if you really feel the need to know what's real and what's not.
Right. Or just enjoy the song or video.
Or yeah, maybe just forget about the view count. But
yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible, Will. That's how we watch things. I mean, if we're being honest, you can't help but look at the view count. It's in a prominent location, the view count, man. If you land on a video with like 17 views, you're like, whoa, where am I right now?
Questionable.
Right?
I look at the like and dislike ratio as well.
Yeah, man. You can't help it. It colors your experience.